Hi guys, Nervash here, bringing you guys another video. So for this video, I kind of want to go through about myself, kind of give a background check, really kind of share my background with you guys, just so you guys know who you're watching, and kind of I wanted to connect with you, yes, you, the one watching this video, so that kind of it's not just about gaming. It's also I wanna connect with people and help people and encourage people at the same time, and I want this channel to grow as a channel that you can come into and relax and connect really, and a place where you can be encouraged. And I hope that I can influence people and encourage people and lead them to tough times. That's why I kind of want this. Kind of want this channel to be really, and also not only just gaming, but a place you can go to and kind of just have fun really. And also the same with my streams, that you can go into the stream chat and go into the Discord and chat as well. I'm here to listen, and I'm open about opinions and stuff like that. So also, if you guys do have any questions and stuff, please leave them down in the comment section below. If I don't answer, it's because I don't see your comment. Just because YouTube is funny like that, I just can't see certain comments. So I'm really sorry if I don't answer and stuff. And also, the plan for this channel is, yeah, that I want this to be a very encouraging channel, a fun channel to you guys can watch and kind of have fun and enjoy life with me, and I could share the adventures that I have in game and outside of the game as well. So my real name is Josephus Antonius. That's my first name. I don't feel comfortable sharing my surname right now, but yeah, I have a pretty long name originally. People that know me call me JP, just for short, and also I get called by the name J as well. Just it's a lot easier, just a letter J, to if you can't remember Josephus Antonius. So I am a single child. I'm 25 years of age. I still live with my parents. At 25, I'm currently a final year student in engineering. Yes, I just finished my engineering actually. Hopefully, I finished my exams and stuff this year already. This month, actually, just last month. So hopefully I pass. I'll share my results and stuff with you guys later on once I do get them. So please keep an eye on that. Um, you guys are probably wondering where I'm from. Where I am right now, I live in Ireland. Ireland, yes, Dublin, Ireland. Whereabouts? Dublin. So, yeah. Originally, I'm from the Philippines. I am a Filipino, but I'm actually an Irish citizen. So I'm identify myself as an Irish national. So I'm no longer Filipino. I'm Irish. But yes, originally I'm from the Philippines. Whereabouts? You guys are probably wondering. I am from the north side of the country, Manila. Not really Manila, near Manila, not too close to Manila. It's like 8 hours or so. I live in a countryside. It's called Isabela, Santiago City, Isabela. I lived in this village with my parents, and my mom is a used to be a maths and physics teacher in the Philippines, and my dad used to pastor a church. Yes, I am a pastor's kid. You guys are probably wondering, oh, are you Catholic or are you? No, I'm a Protestant Christian. I'm evangelical. There's that. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do anything religious, or I'm not gonna say anything religious. Don't worry about that. I don't want to shove religion down your throats. If you guys are interested about my faith and what I think about religion and stuff, please do comment down below. And if you guys would like to share about it, then please do. And if you want to do a one-on-one talk and stuff, just yeah, please just reach out. But yeah, I'm there. I grew up in this village. I grew up. I would say I grew up knowing the two sides of a coin, right? Poverty and riches. I know the difference. I've lived both lives. So back home, I would say my mom was the breadwinner of the family because when I was a kid, my dad was the one looking after me until I was able to go into kindergarten. And then my dad was able to get a job as a tricycle driver, actually. And a tricycle in the Philippines is a motor, like a motorbike that's welded onto a side carriage with a roof on top. So it's pretty nice. I think I have a video. I think I have something like thing here. So this is what a tricycle looks like. Not really sure if you guys can see that, but this is what a tricycle looks like in the Philippines. So my dad would drive this around, and kind of while I was in kindergarten, he would actually drive people around and get money. And when I had my lunch break and stuff, he would come and kind of feed me and kind of look after me. So he was able to look after me while getting some cash on the side. And my mom was a math and physics teacher in a secondary school or a high school for both junior high and senior high. So that was that. I'm also a premature baby when I was young, so that was tough. My mom would have it would actually life threatening for my mom to have a child. So when she had me, it was a pure miracle. I was actually declared dead by the doctors. The doctor that was looking after my mom was her aunt, and my aunt was heartbroken when she would scan for a heartbeat and for life, really, when she was pregnant. She was coming close to her due date at the time, about a month or so before her due date. So she then had started having these like convulsions, and kind of her blood pressure would skyrocket and she started bleeding and stuff. So it was really life threatening for my mom. And her aunt that was looking after her, the doctor, was heartbroken because previously, before they had me, they had another child, but that child also died. That child died inside the womb of my mom, and that was my brother, I suppose, my big brother. So they, yeah, it was the same situation. It was life threatening. Sadly, the child died, and my mom's aunt was the same doctor that was helping my mom. So she was heartbroken when she found out and scanning for life that I was dead. She went out and rushed out to my dad and said, "Sorry, I'm really sorry, but this time again, that your child is dead." But thankfully, dad had a promise from God, and he said that, no, 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 the child is okay. It's gonna be okay. The child is alive. I got a promise from God from that, and is alive. So my aunt went back in, called multiple doctors to check again because she wasn't giving up. She was like, okay, he's probably right. Let's check again. Let's check again. So multiple doctors came in, and same thing happened. I was declared dead by multiple doctors. They were heartbroken. My grandmother was there, heartbroken the fact that I was dead. But they did a C-section on my mom, and lo and behold, I was actually alive. I weighed 2.2 pounds. So the doctor went out rushing to my dad, saying, "Oh my gosh, it's a miracle that he's actually alive. He's a miracle." So I spent 1 month and 4 days in an incubator. 2.2 pounds. You guys are probably wondering. So I was a pretty mature baby. I had troubles. They couldn't take me out straight away because I had problems breathing because I was this premature baby. Usually our lungs wouldn't have been developed as much, and we would have a lot more complications later on in life, or such as immune system and stuff like that. So it was a struggle growing up. But as you can see, I'm a big guy. I'm a bit too big, shall I say, a bit on the chunkers side of things. But yeah, that's me. I used to be a premature baby, and I used to live in this place. We used to live in a place, or in Santiago City, in a village, and in the back of the house was the forest, and the front was the rice fields. So my parents would go out before they had me. They would actually scavenge for food, and stuff like that. They didn't have jobs before, and thankfully, when my mom got a job, she was a breadwinner, as I said, and they made enough in total. They had enough money to put food on the table. And the house that I lived in is called a bahay kubo. It's a Filipino design. It's an Asian design. It looks like this. So it would something like this and similar, a bahay kubo, which is kind of traditional housing in the Philippines. My mom was actually the one who designed the house. She would say, "All right, cut this, cut that," and thankfully the community was the one that was helping us out, and my parents out. And the community, there was a lot of drugs going on, and in that village, but they were thankfully they were the ones who was helping my parents out as well. So they did what they could, and yeah, I lived in this big house, and kind of it's out of bamboo by kubos. So they're out of bamboos, and then they would have this called a yero, which is practically a sheet of metal on top as a roof, and kind of hay or extra sheets of small sheets of wood and and bamboo that's woven together, as you saw in the video. Um, Growing up, I had kind of hand me down toys. I suppose I never had the things that I wanted and stuff. I never had the new toys that everyone had. But the thing is, I wasn't sad. I wasn't. If you're looking, I kind of looking back at it, we lived in poverty. We had enough on the table, and they did what they could. But thing is, for me as a child, I was happy knowingly that my parents was the one who gave it to me. So for me, I didn't care if it was new or it was used or a bit of broken toys. I didn't care about that. I kind of learned a lot when I was back home in the Philippines. Growing up, I kind of learned a lot of my values now as an adult kind of was set when I was younger, because I learned the true values of life. I learned love, companionship, loyalty, and the small things in life. You're like, for me, the used toys, the hand me downs wasn't for me. That was new. I was so happy that my parents gave that to me because out of love, and I saw that, so I didn't care. I cherished them. I was sentimental towards them, sentimental. So I wasn't really like, oh, I want this, I want that. I was like, oh, I'm happy with this. I'm fine with this. I'm okay. And my parents would ask me, oh, do you want anything? I was like, no, no, I'm fine with this. What you guys gave me, I'm pretty happy. So that's about me. I kind of learned that as a young age, and I didn't have much really. We had a TV. We had multiple TVs because I was the type of person that kid that would kept pressing things. So I broke a lot of TVs back then, like the big TVs that looks like I had a nuke in the back of it. but um, but yeah, it was a pretty wholesome place. Only a few people had electricity at the time, and thankfully that was one of us. And we were able to help the community out as well. My dad was pastoring a church, and most of the guys was drug addicts and stuff. So part of the community in the church was really good, and it taught me a lot as a child. And for me, it wasn't really poverty. It was riches, really. I didn't have much, but what I had was riches from my parents and from the love of the community, and I made friends, and people were looking after me and stuff. So I didn't really I didn't really feel poor. I felt really rich because I was happy, you know? And my mom was able to get a job here in Ireland, thankfully, because one of the members in the church was able to get a job here in Ireland, and she pointed her out to an agency, and then the agency was able to reach out to Ireland, and when someone was recruiting, as for recruiting for a childminder, so my mom got a job as a childminder here in Ireland, and thankfully with the help of her employers, we were a, she they were able to help my mom out to get the papers and kind of bring me and my dad over when I was 6 to 7 years of age in 2003, 2004. So I was really thankful for that. We lived in the house that my mom was working in. She was the in-house childminder, so it was pretty fun. I learned English because of course the family that was taking care of us, and also the child that my mom was taking care of. So I was pretty happy learning English, and I don't have an Irish accent. That's because the kid and the family that was kind of looking after us really didn't have a Irish accent. They didn't really have a thick Irish accent. It was more clear and kind of clear and I would say posh Irish accent, but yeah, my accent, I suppose a lot of people would say, is a American, but that's because of the influence that America has in the Philippines. So that's because of that. I don't really have a Filipino accent either, so I don't know where, but it's just my accent. You guys are probably wondering. But yeah, we lived from house to house afterwards, just because we were renting. We still are renting in a beautiful house, a beautiful apartment block here in Ireland. So I'm really thankful for that. My mom still works as a childminder, and my dad now works as a nursing. He works in a nursing home. He's one of the senior carers in there, which is pretty cool. But before, he was working as a car valeter when we came to Ireland, um, which is great. He was working with cars. He loves cars, so he was working with that, and it was a big change because the amount of money that we were getting in the Philippines, right? Just give you guys a perspective on how much my parents were making a day. Let's say combined would be, let's say, $25, 25 euros a day, right? Or that's probably the maximum. Minimum they'll make a day was like $15. Not a lot of money. Um, or less even. 10 maybe. As a my mom was a teacher and dad as a tricycle driver. It's not a lot of money because it's in peso, so the transversion rate is a lot more. It's like 200 plus pesos and stuff, which is, not a lot in dollars and in euros. So when we came over here, it was a big change going from poverty to riches, really. Economically, we went from kind of working class, poverty working class, to now into a working class. And thankfully, with the support of my parents, I was able to get into college, really. And growing up, I was able to experience normal, really. Okay, it's normal anyway, but I was able to get the stuff that I wanted. Not all the time, but my parents would give me things as well. There was like, hey, here's the new things for you, new clothes. But then I was like, oh, I'm the same kid that I was sentimental over the things they gave me. So I wasn't actually asking much. So growing up, I wasn't really that smart of a kid, even though my mom was like a math and physics teacher and an engineer as well, a chemical engineer in the Philippines. But yeah, I wasn't really that smart. I just went. I was the type. I suppose I'm the type of person that would just get D's, like just enough to pass, right? So we went from house to house because my mom, she would, how it worked was when I got a placement in a school, they wanted to live close by so I don't have to walk too far. So thankfully, her employer's friends was looking for childminders that was near the area that we were living and near the area that where my school was in. So for about 3 to 4 years, my mom would work for the employer for 3 to 4 years, and after that, when I got into high school or secondary school, which we call it here in Ireland, my mom was able to find a different place or a different employer because we lived at a different house closer to the school that I was going to for my teenage years. So that kind of patterned into going into college, and depending where my college was, which was in the city center in Dublin, um, they were then able to find a different job. My mom was able to find a different job, and then my dad got a job as a caregiver in in a nursing home. The second I started college, he stopped pastoring a church because of it, because his weekends got taken over. But so far, it was pretty nice. He's able to still kind of pastor with the residents and stuff like that. So it was pretty good. And yeah, and college wise, I spent 7 years in college. I'll probably explain a different video on that. This video is getting too long. But yeah, that's about me so far. Quite a quick insight of things. So yeah, 7 years in college. I have 2 degrees so far in engineering. I just finished up my third one. Rather, my college for the third degree just finished up exams and stuff. So hopefully my results will come out this month. and I could share that with you guys as well. So yeah, that's me so far. You guys are probably wondering where I got my name Nervash in YouTube from. Actually, I watch anime a lot. I'm an anime person. I'm not that big into anime. I don't really know a lot of anime shows. I just kind of know the mainstream ones and the ones that I used to watch as a kid growing up. For instance, like Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, a bit of One Piece, but I never got into One Piece. Bleach, and stuff like that. So I'm not really big into anime, but the name Nervash was I actually got it from an anime that I really like called Eureka 7. It's an old anime which is really good. The name of the robot, it's kind of a mecha game anime. So one of the characters or the robot that they use was the mecha that they used was called Neirvash, Neirvash or something. I'm probably butchering the spelling, but it's called Neirvash. But then I was like, oh, I kind of want Nervash instead. So I was gaming, and that's what I chose, and now I'm called Nervash. I call myself Nervash. So yeah, that's where the name came from. But yeah, I'll probably make a separate video on me spending 7 years in college and how that is in my experience in college so far. So I'm really thankful about my parents being able to support me in college. I wasn't really even in college. I just did enough to pass. I wasn't able to concentrate as much because I was apparently when I was a kid I was diagnosed with ADHD. So um, I had a hard time concentrating, but my parents were like, nah, he's just hyperactive. We'll give him something to concentrate on. So, and that's why they gave me a Game Boy. My first gaming device ever was a Game Boy Color, which is great. It's kind of this big block of thing about this size and like a small, like about this small of a screen playing Pokemon and stuff. Oh man, so much good games. And I never had a PlayStation when I was a kid, so when I was here in Ireland, I kind of got late into the console game. When people had PlayStation 2, I was able to get a PlayStation 1. And when people had PlayStation 3, I was able to get the Xbox. And then late into PlayStation 3, I was able to get Xbox 360, and then that trickled onto me getting a computer that I built. That's a 6-year-old computer, by the way. In that I built when I was in college. I got a job as a food attendant in a fast food restaurant, a fast food chain here in Ireland called Supermax. They practically sell chicken lunch boxes like chicken wings and stuff in a lunch box with potato chips or fries. And they also do burgers and pizzas. So it's a mix of everything, really. It's a pretty nice for a fast food chain. I worked there for like a year and a half or a year. I was able to get enough money to create my own desktop. That was I created kind of 6 years ago. Then the only new things about my desktop right now is my SSD, my RAM, and my graphics card. So this is a quite old rig, and it's working still, which is great. So yeah, that's a bit about me. I'm also You're probably wondering, you're Filipino, right? So can you sing and can you do music and stuff like that? Are you the typical Filipino? Do you guys have a karaoke at home? Yes, we have a karaoke at home. Yes, I am a musician, and yes, I can sing, kind of. I can kind of sing, not so much. Um, and I'm also into martial arts. I may not look like it because I'm a bit chunky. I'm a bit on the heavy side, but yes, I know a bit of martial arts and self defense. But that's that. So I am into gaming. Mostly, I am playing Destiny 2 and also Elder Scrolls Online. I got into that recently, so back into it again recently. So I'll be making more videos on that later on and kind of guiding through. And I stream. I like streaming and sharing. So yeah, that's about me so far. That's the background of me. Quick background of me. Um, that I used to live in a in a poverty and stuff. About more about the Philippines actually, where I was. So as I said, the forest was behind our house, and the front of it was a rice field. So that was fun getting to explore around there. It was dangerous because there's a bunch of snakes living in that area. Sometimes you would open the window or you would open the door, and there would just like snake skin, literally fresh snake skin, just out in the front. I'm just like, okay, kale, cool. That's just a bunch of snakes, and we had like multiple cats as well. Growing up, there were our main cat called Cutie. She was actually looking after me. She imprinted on me when I was a kid. So when I was a child, when I was a baby, so I was the only one that was able to pick up her kittens straight off the bat because I was practically a kitten to her as well. They wouldn't make a fuss, they wouldn't hiss or anything, they won't scratch. I was the only one being able to pick them up because I was part of a pack, which is great. So yeah, I was raised by kittens, by cats. We had like 12 cats back home because you needed to. There was a bunch of snakes, and this cat wasn't your typical cat. This cat would jump on my dad's shoulder. Really, like this cat had an extremely long tail that would wrap her tail around my dad's neck and just sit there really on his shoulder. And every time we would go home on a tricycle, you would see Cutie running up the street, and she would then jump on top of the tricycle's roof and kind of go back. She was like a dog. It was so fun. And the street that we live in didn't have it wasn't paved back then. There was no pavement, so it was muddy. So that was a that was a type of housing kind of situation I was at, surrounding of poverty. Everyone was the same. So that was wholesome about it. Everyone was the same, and everyone was sharing with each other. The community was one, which was fun. And I didn't really make friends as a kid. I was the type of child that liked being on his own. That was adventurous by his own. Apparently, when I was a child, I was when I was a baby growing up, they only heard laughter from me. I barely cried, and it was just pure laughter, which trickled into, well, I didn't cry right as a baby. So when I was growing up as a kid, the kids around me was the one crying, not because I didn't do anything bad at times. I wasn't the cause of it, but they kind of joined in the fun that I was doing, so it was kind of their own fault. So my dad would actually warn the kids, saying, "Hey, be careful with him. Don't piss him off. He's playing with that. Don't piss him off on that. He will hit you." So I was apparently when I was a baby, when people would look down into my crib and it's like, "Oh, how cute," I would actually hook them with a swing when I was a child, when I was like a few months old. And then we're like, oh darn, this kid, this baby's is like throwing punches at people. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. It's all over the place on my background, but yeah, that's me, you guys. You get what you see from me, really. That's who I am. You get what you see. So yeah. Also, if you guys wanna look, kind of have me make some music videos maybe and stuff like that, I will give it my best to do my music videos. um as you guys can see, I don't really have any editing software or anything, so you will see me breathe a lot. And usually how people do it is kind of like they would cut out the parts that they breathe and stop talking, so it's continuous. So that's a little bit me. So yeah, thanks guys. This video is nearly like 30 minutes long, so I'm really sorry for the long sorry about that, for the long kind of background. But hopefully this helps you out, that this reaches out to you if you need encouragement of poverty, and if you think you're going a rough time right now. I lived in poverty, man. We had enough to the table. We were making maybe $10. My parents were making $10 a day, all the way up here. That if I can make it, if we can make it to a place where we are. Of course there's troubles right now. There's COVID-19. There's a massive pandemic right now. I might not get a job for the next year or so because of the pandemic. if you hear the kids screaming, that's because of the apartment block I live in. So I'm really sorry. I will keep that in video. So it is tough, but hopefully when you watch this video that you get encouraged that not all hope is lost. That there is still hope out there. And if you want someone to talk to, please reach out to me. I am here to talk to you, and I'm here to listen, and I am here to encourage, and hopefully I can pray for you if that's okay. If that's okay for you, if I can pray for you. Um, if you're okay. So yeah, if you would like that, if you would like to reach out to me, and if you would like for someone to talk to, please don't hesitate to reach out. Message me on this, or message me on my Twitter, which is at XNervashX. I will link my Twitter, my Discord, and my stream down below. So please check that out if you want to try to talk to someone. And yeah, I kind of want to make this video as well, that to make friends really at the same time. I'm not really social. I do have social problems. I can't really talk to people as much because the interests and stuff. So if we don't have the same interests and stuff, it's kind of hard for me to talk to people face to face, because I am dealing with a bit of health problems as well. So but yeah, hopefully this video is encouraging, and at the same time that you know who I am. And yeah, that's about from me, guys. Thank you guys for joining in, and hopefully this is, as I said, is encouraging, and hopefully you guys take something from this, that if you are struggling, please reach out if you need someone to talk to. And have a good day, and hopefully I see you guys in the streams on Twitter, on Discord. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a good day. Okay, so I will be making more videos. So thank you guys for joining in so much, and see you guys next time. Peace.